We don't serve your kind here. Gregory Hartwell doesn't whisper. He wants the lobby to hear. Sir, I have a reservation. I don't care. He looks her up and down. A black woman in a navy dress, pearl earrings, standing in his lobby like she belongs. We're fully booked. Try somewhere else. Somewhere more appropriate for your budget. The confirmation is right here. Are you deaf or just slow? Gregory steps closer. This restaurant is for people with class, people with money, not people who wander in off the street hoping for scraps. The door opens. White couple, diamonds, old money. Gregory transforms. Warm smile. Open arms. Mr. and Mrs. Henderson, your window table is ready, right this way. Same restaurant, same empty tables, same minute, different skin, different rules. The black woman walks out, dignity intact. She checks her phone. 9 minutes recorded. Her name is Faith Donovan. She owns this restaurant, and 13 others. Gregory just told his CEO to find somewhere cheaper. Faith Donovan learned the restaurant business from the steam of a dishwashing station. Summer of 1989. She's 16, a seafood place on the South Carolina coast. Minimum wage, 12-hour shifts, hands raw from hot water and industrial soap. The smell of bleach and fish never quite washes off. She comes home exhausted, falls asleep in her clothes. The owner notices her. Not because she complains, she never complains. Because she watches, studies, absorbs. While other dishwashers count the minutes until closing, Faith memorizes the menu, learns which tables tip well, observes how the best servers move through the dining room. By 18, she's running the front of house. By 25, she's managing 3 locations. By 32, she opens her own place, a small bistro in Charleston. 15 tables, 1 dream, every penny of her savings on the line. That was 20 years ago. Now Donovan Hospitality Group operates 14 restaurants across 8 states, 800 employees, $50 million in annual revenue. Faith built it without investors, without partners, without anyone handing her anything. Every door she walked through, she opened herself. She has a philosophy. Simple, unbreakable. A restaurant is only as good as how it treats the stranger who walks in. Not the regulars, not the VIPs, not the friends of management. The stranger. The person with no connections, no special treatment. The one who walks in hoping for a good meal and deserves to receive one. That's why she still does unannounced visits, 20 years running. She books under her maiden name, doesn't announce herself, doesn't bring an entourage. She wants to see reality, not performance. She wants to know what her restaurants are actually like when the boss isn't watching. Tonight is supposed to be routine. The Golden Fork in Charleston, her newest flagship, opened 8 months ago. Most upscale location in the chain. Crystal chandeliers, Italian marble floors, a wine list that took 6 months to curate. She's been too busy with other fires to visit until now. A donor dinner brought her to town. Tomorrow's event is scheduled. Tonight is free. Perfect opportunity for a quality check. She expects to find small issues. Maybe slow service during the dinner rush. Maybe a menu item that needs adjustment. Maybe training gaps with the new staff. Normal things. Fixable things. The kind of problems that disappear with a note to regional management. She doesn't expect what's about to happen. Faith parks her own car in the public lot. No driver, no assistant. She's always been hands-on. That's not going to change because the company got bigger. Success doesn't mean comfort. It means more responsibility. She checks her phone one more time. The reservation confirmation glows on the screen. 7:15 p.m. Party of 1. Her maiden name. Confirmation number right there in black and white. Everything in order. She steps out of the car. The Charleston evening is warm, humid. Spanish moss hangs from the oaks lining the street. The restaurant's facade gleams with soft lighting. Through the windows, she can see white tablecloths, candles flickering, well-dressed guests, her guests, in her restaurant, eating food prepared by her staff. She's 52 years old. She's spent 36 years in this industry. She's faced discrimination before. Investors who couldn't see past her skin color. Landlords who changed their minds when she showed up in person. Competitors who assumed she would fail. They were all wrong. Faith Donovan doesn't fail. She documents. She builds cases. She wins. Rage without evidence is just noise. Evidence without rage is power. She adjusts her navy dress, touches her grandmother's pearl earrings, the ones she wears for luck, the ones she wore when she signed the lease on her first restaurant. They've never failed her. She takes a breath. Then she walks through the front door of the Golden Fork at 7:14 p.m. She expects a routine quality check. What she finds is the first thread of something much worse. The lobby smells like fresh bread and lemon furniture polish. Soft jazz drifts from the dining room. The murmur of conversation. The gentle clink of glassware. Laughter from a table in the corner. The sounds of a successful restaurant on a Thursday evening. Faith's restaurant, her creation. She stands at the hostess podium. The marble floor beneath her feet. She approved that marble after reviewing 12 samples. The artwork on the walls. She selected every piece during a weekend in Atlanta. The soft gold lighting. Her idea, to make guests feel warm and welcome. The young woman behind the podium still hasn't looked up. Faith waits. 5 seconds. 10. 15. The girl, early 20s, name tag reading Brittany, scrolls through something on the reservation screen. Her fingers move slowly, carelessly. Her eyes don't lift. Do you have a reservation? The question comes without eye contact, without acknowledgement. Faith keeps her voice pleasant, professional. She's done this 1,000 times. Yes, under Williams. Her maiden name, the one she always uses for these visits. Brittany's eyes flick to the screen, then somewhere behind Faith, then back to the screen. A pause that lasts a beat too long. I'm sorry, I don't see anything under that name. Faith pulls up the confirmation email on her phone, holds it out. The screen shows everything clearly. Date, time, party of 1, confirmation number. The word confirmed in green. I have the confirmation right here. Brittany glances at the phone, doesn't take it, doesn't lean in to look. Her expression flattens into practiced neutrality. Let me get my manager. Right? She disappears into the back. Faith waits. The jazz plays on. A couple at a nearby table laughs at something. An older man swirls wine in his glass. Normal evening, normal restaurant. Everything operating exactly as designed, except for this. Gregory Hartwell appears from the back. Mid-30s, charcoal suit, practiced smile that doesn't quite reach his eyes. He walks with the confidence of a man who believes he's in charge. Faith has met 100 men like him. They all have the same certainty, the same assumption that their position makes them untouchable. Good evening. His voice is smooth, rehearsed. I understand there's some confusion about a reservation. Faith shows him the phone. The confirmation email, clear as day. Gregory barely glances at it. His eyes flick to her face, then away. I apologize for any confusion, but we're fully booked this evening. Faith looks past him, into the dining room. 3 tables sit empty. White tablecloths, unlit candles, no place settings, no reserved signs, just empty tables in a restaurant that's supposedly fully booked. Those tables appear to be available. Gregory follows her gaze. His smile tightens, just slightly. Most people wouldn't notice. Those are reserved for guests arriving shortly. I see. The front door opens behind Faith. Cool air from outside. Footsteps on marble. She steps slightly to the side. An older white couple enters. Well-dressed. 60s. The woman wears diamonds at her throat. The man wears the easy confidence of old money. Gregory's face transforms. It's remarkable, like watching a mask slip on. Genuine warmth floods his features. His posture opens. His smile becomes real. His voice lifts. Mr. and Mrs. Henderson, wonderful to see you again. Right this way. Your usual table is ready. He guides them past Faith. They don't acknowledge her, don't even see her. She's invisible. Furniture, part of the decor. The Hendersons settle into a window table, one of the 3 empty ones Faith just pointed out. The table that was reserved for guests arriving shortly. Gregory pulls out the chair for Mrs. Henderson personally. Same restaurant, same moment, same tables, different rules. Gregory returns. His face has reset to professional neutrality. The warmth is gone. The real smile is gone. Back to the mask. As I said, ma'am, we're fully booked. Faith keeps her voice level. I have a confirmed reservation. I have the email. The system should show the booking. Ma'am, I've been in hospitality for 15 years. Gregory's patience is performative, exaggerated. The kind of patience that says, I'm being reasonable. You're being difficult. You're the problem here. I know when we're fully booked. 15 years. Faith has been in hospitality for 36. She built her first restaurant when Gregory was in college. She built this restaurant while he was managing a chain steakhouse. Perhaps you'd be more comfortable somewhere else this evening. The words hang in the air. Polite, pleasant, devastating. Faith understands what's happening. She understood the moment Brittany looked behind her before saying there was no reservation. She understood when Gregory barely glanced at her phone. She understood when the Hendersons walked in and received everything she was denied. Different rules, different treatment, same restaurant. She could end this now. 6 words. I'm Faith Donovan. You're fired. Watch his face drain. Watch the panic set in. Watch him scramble for excuses. Walk out victorious. But that would be satisfying for about 30 seconds. Then Gregory would claim misunderstanding, call a lawyer, spin the story, move to a competitor, do this exact thing to someone else next week. Nothing would actually change. Faith Donovan didn't build 14 restaurants by being impulsive. She built them by being thorough. Her hand moves to her phone, casually, naturally. She opens the voice memo app, slides the phone into her blazer pocket. The microphone faces outward. I just want to make sure I understand. Her voice stays calm. Recording. I have a reservation, a confirmation email, and you're telling me there's no space available? That's correct. Even though I can see empty tables from here? Gregory's jaw tightens. Those tables are reserved. For the Hendersons? Ma'am. The word comes out sharp. I think we're done here. He glances toward the back of the restaurant. A large man in a black polo stands near the kitchen entrance. Security. The implication is clear. Leave, or be escorted out. Faith nods slowly. I understand. Thank you for your time. She turns, walks toward the door. Her heels click steadily on the marble floor. The marble she paid for, in the restaurant she built, where she was just told she doesn't belong. The recording is still running. 8 minutes of audio, every word captured, every dismissal documented. Gregory Hartwell thinks he just won a small battle. He has no idea he just handed Faith Donovan the weapon that will end his career. Faith doesn't drive. Not yet. She sits in the rental car outside the Golden Fork. The engine is off. The windows are up. The leather seat is cool against her back. Inside the restaurant, Gregory Hartwell is probably already telling his staff about the difficult customer, laughing it off, moving on with his evening. He has no idea what's coming. Faith pulls up the recording, hits play. Gregory's voice fills the car. every word preserved in digital clarity. "We're fully booked this evening. Right this way, Mr. and Mrs. Henderson. Your usual table is ready. Perhaps you'd be more comfortable somewhere else." Every word, crystal clear, time-stamped, undeniable. 8 minutes and 23 seconds of evidence that Gregory Hartwell decided who deserves service and who doesn't. She plays it again, notes the exact moments, the shift in his voice when the Hendersons arrived, the dismissiveness when he spoke to her. The same man, the same minute. Two completely different people. She could call the board tonight, fire Gregory by midnight, issue a press release by morning. Donovan Hospitality has zero tolerance for discrimination. Clean, quick, done. Tomorrow's headline. Yesterday's problem. But that's the problem. It would be quick. Too quick. Fire Gregory now, and what happens? He claims it was a misunderstanding. His lawyer calls it wrongful termination. He settles quietly or moves to a competitor. 2 months later, he's doing the exact same thing at someone else's restaurant. Some other grandmother gets turned away on her birthday. Some other couple has their anniversary ruined. Faith has seen this pattern before. One headline, one termination. One man who lands softly and starts over. Nothing actually changes. She wants more than his job. She wants the pattern. She wants receipts. She wants a case so airtight that Gregory Hartwell never works in hospitality again. She wants to make sure that what happened to her tonight doesn't happen to anyone else. Ever. That's going to take a few days, maybe 3. She drives back to the hotel. Sleeps. Barely. Her mind keeps replaying the moment. The warmth in Gregory's voice for the Hendersons. The coldness for her. The same restaurant, the same minute. 2 different worlds. Morning comes, day 2. Her phone shows 3 new emails. Personal inbox. People she doesn't know. The first one is from James Crawford. "I was at the Golden Fork last night, the table by the window. I saw what happened to you. I watched that manager smile and welcome a white couple 30 seconds after he told you there was no room. I've never seen anything so blatant. My wife and I talked about it all the way home. If you need a witness, I'm here. I'll put it in writing. What I saw was wrong, and someone should know." Faith reads it twice. A stranger, standing up, willing to testify. The second email is similar. A woman who was waiting for her husband in the lobby. Saw the whole exchange. Couldn't believe what she witnessed. The third, a couple at a corner table. They watched the Hendersons get seated, then watched Gregory return to Faith with that neutral expression. Same story, same outrage. 3 witnesses, 3 strangers who saw what happened and decided to act. Faith screenshots everything, saves the emails in 3 places, documents everything. Then she calls her assistant. "I need you to check something in our reservation system, the Golden Fork, Charleston, last night. Look up a booking under Williams, 7:15 p.m., party of 1. 3 minutes later, her assistant calls back. "Found it. The reservation exists. It was confirmed at 2:47 p.m. yesterday. Never canceled. Never modified. It's still showing as a no-show in the system." Faith closes her eyes. Gregory saw the reservation. It was in the system. He looked at a black woman and decided she didn't deserve to sit in her own restaurant. He made that decision, consciously, deliberately. She calls Terrence Williams, her attorney, old friend. They've worked together for 15 years. He knows her, knows she doesn't call without reason. "Terrence, I need your advice." She tells him everything. The recording, the witnesses, the reservation proof. Terrence listens without interrupting, then asks the question that matters. "What do you want, Faith? You want him fired, or do you want him destroyed?" "I want him unable to do this again. To anyone. Ever." Then you need a pattern. One incident, even with witnesses, is your word against his. A good lawyer could spin it as misunderstanding. But if he's done this before, if there are complaints on file, that's different. That's a pattern no one can argue with. How do I find out? You're the CEO. Request his HR file, complaint history, performance reviews. You have the right to access anything related to any employee. Faith considers this. She built this company. She has access to everything. How fast can I get it? Call HR now. Tell them you need it for a confidential review. They'll send it within hours. She hangs up, makes the call to HR. This is Faith Donovan. I need the complete complaint history for Gregory Hartwell, General Manager, Charleston location. Send everything to my personal email. Today. The HR coordinator doesn't hesitate. Yes, Ms. Donovan, I'll have it to you by noon. Faith ends the call. She has a recording. She has 3 witnesses. She has proof the reservation existed. Now she needs to know, is Gregory Hartwell an outlier? Or is he a pattern? The HR files will tell her everything. 5 complaints. Faith reads the HR file 3 times. The number doesn't change. 5 formal complaints against Gregory Hartwell in 24 months. All at the Charleston location. All documented in the company system. All supposedly resolved. She opens the first complaint, dated 18 months ago. A guest named Patricia Coleman. Guest stated she had a confirmed reservation but was told the restaurant was fully booked. She observed empty tables in the dining room. When she questioned the situation, she was asked to leave. Guest is African American. Faith's jaw tightens. The same pattern, the same words. Fully booked. Empty tables visible. Asked to leave. Resolution note. Manager counseled. No further action required. Second complaint. 14 months ago. David and Maria Santos. Guest and his wife arrived for anniversary dinner. Had reservation confirmation on phone. Were told there was a computer error and no table was available. Were asked to wait in the bar. After 45 minutes, they left without being seated. Guest observed white couples without reservations being seated during this time. Guest is Latino. 45 minutes. On their anniversary. Watching other people get seated while they waited. Resolution note. Training reinforced. Situation addressed. Third complaint. 10 months ago. Walter and Dorothy Jenkins. Elderly couple turned away despite confirmed reservation. Manager stated restaurant was unexpectedly full. Couple observed multiple empty tables in the dining room. Drove 40 minutes to reach restaurant. Guest is African American. Elderly couple. 40-minute drive. Turned away at the door. Resolution note. Manager counseled. No further action. Fourth complaint. 7 months ago. Keisha Williams. Guest told her reservation wasn't in the system. When she showed confirmation email on phone, manager suggested she try another evening. Guest is African American. The same exact thing that happened to Faith. Same words. Same response. Same dismissal. Resolution note. Training issue addressed. Fifth complaint. 3 months ago. The Robinson family. Family of 4 arrived for grandmother's birthday dinner. Reservation confirmed. Told restaurant was at capacity. Could see empty tables from hostess stand. Manager offered no explanation or alternative. Family is African American. A grandmother's birthday. A family celebration. Turned away while tables sat empty. Resolution note. Resolved. Manager counseled. Faith sets down her phone. Stares at the wall. 5 families. 5 celebrations ruined. 5 moments of humiliation. An elderly couple's dinner out. A wedding anniversary. A grandmother's birthday. A woman trying to enjoy a meal. A family gathering. All turned away. All told there was no room. All watching as other guests walked in and received immediate seating. And the complaints spanned 24 months. Gregory Hartwell has been doing this for 2 years, systematically, consistently, with full knowledge that his behavior was being documented, because nothing ever happened. She checks the resolution notes for each complaint. Same language, same empty words. Resolved. Manager counseled. Resolved. Training reinforced. Resolved. No further action required. Resolved. Situation addressed. Resolved. Manager counseled. 5 complaints. 5 identical non-responses. Same template, same outcome. Nothing changed. No consequences. No accountability. No one ever followed up to see if the counseling worked. She could have been number 6. Faith pulls up Gregory's email archive. As CEO, she has access to every employee's corporate communications. She types search terms into the system. Atmosphere. Guest quality. Reservation. Standards. The results populate. A chill runs down her spine. Gregory Hartwell to front of house staff 16 months ago. Team. Reminder that we need to maintain the right atmosphere at Golden Fork. Our guests expect a certain experience. Use your judgment when it comes to reservations. Not everyone is the right fit for our brand. Gregory Hartwell to shift supervisors 11 months ago. Some guests fit our brand better than others. I trust you to make good decisions about seating priorities. When in doubt, protect the experience for our regulars. Gregory Hartwell to hostess team 8 months ago. When in doubt about a reservation, check with me first. We want to make sure the right people get the best tables. Quality over quantity. The right people. The right atmosphere. Good decisions about seating priorities. Not everyone is the right fit. This isn't accidental. It isn't unconscious bias. It isn't poor training. It isn't one bad night or one misunderstanding. This is policy. Gregory Hartwell's personal policy. Implemented systematically. Communicated to staff in writing. Protected by HR resolutions that resolved nothing. Faith stands. Walks to the hotel window. Charleston spreads out below her. A beautiful city, historic, complicated. A city that still carries its history in its streets and its buildings and its customs. She thinks about the grandmother who couldn't celebrate her birthday at the Golden Fork. The one in the 5th complaint, 80 years old according to the file. Wanted to have dinner with her family at the nicest restaurant in town. Got dressed up, drove across the city, stood in the lobby and was told there was no room. Faith thinks about the couple who waited 45 minutes in a bar while their anniversary slipped away, watching other couples get seated, wondering what they did wrong, eventually giving up and going home. She thinks about the elderly pair who drove 40 minutes, Walter and Dorothy, married probably 50 years, just wanted a nice dinner out, turned away at the door. She thinks about every person who filed a complaint, hoping something would change, hoping someone would listen, hoping the system would work. The system didn't work. The system protected Gregory Hartwell. Not anymore. Faith picks up her phone, calls Terrence. I found it. 5 complaints, 24 months, 4 black guests, 1 Latino family. Same pattern every time. All marked resolved. Nothing was resolved. Terrence's voice is steady. That's your pattern? That's undeniable. What do you want to do? Board meeting. Tomorrow morning. I want him terminated in front of the board. I want it on record. I want him to know exactly why, and I want it to be so documented that he can't spin it, can't deny it, can't recover from it. I can have the paperwork ready by tonight. Do it. She hangs up, makes another call. The board chair. This is Faith Donovan. I need an emergency session. Tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. Personnel matter at the Charleston location. The board chair knows Faith, knows she doesn't call emergency sessions without cause. In 15 years, she's done it twice. I'll clear the schedule. What's this about? You'll see tomorrow. Trust me, you'll want to be there. She hangs up. One more call to her assistant. Send a meeting notice to Gregory Hartwell. Tomorrow, 9 a.m., corporate boardroom. Subject line, operational review. Don't give details. 5 minutes later, her assistant confirms. Sent. He replied already. Said he'll be there. Faith can picture it. Gregory reading the email on his phone, assuming it's routine, quarterly numbers, performance metrics, maybe even hoping for good news. A bonus, recognition, praise. He has no idea. She gathers her evidence. The recording, the witness statements, the reservation proof, the HR complaints, the emails. Everything documented. Everything undeniable. The case is complete. Re-engagement point. If you've ever watched someone get away with something they shouldn't have, keep watching. Justice is coming. And it arrives tomorrow morning. Gregory Hartwell has a good evening. He finishes his shift at the Golden Fork, walks through the dining room one more time, checks on the VIP tables, smiles at the regulars, adjusts a candle that's burning unevenly, everything running smoothly, just like always. The restaurant looks beautiful tonight, crystal chandeliers casting warm light, guests enjoying expensive wine, white tablecloths gleaming, his restaurant, his domain. In the staff area, he catches up with the night manager. Any issues tonight? Nothing major, smooth service. That woman from yesterday didn't come back. Gregory waves his hand dismissively. They never do. Some people just don't understand how fine dining works. They think a reservation entitles them to special treatment. He laughs. The night manager laughs with him. This is how it's always been. This is how it will always be. At least that's what Gregory believes. He's been the general manager of the Golden Fork for 2 years. 2 years of building his reputation. 2 years of maintaining standards. 2 years of deciding who belongs in this dining room and who doesn't. The restaurant succeeds. Revenue is strong. Reviews are positive. The regulars keep coming back. The Hendersons, the Mitchells, the other families who fit the brand. There have been complaints. Of course there have. A few people who didn't understand, who got upset, who wrote angry emails to corporate. But complaints come and go. HR sends their standard emails. He attends a 30-minute counseling session with a regional coordinator. Signs a form acknowledging company values. Goes back to work. Nothing changes. Nothing ever changes. Nothing ever happens to me, he told a bartender once after the third complaint arrived. I know how this works. I've been in this industry for 15 years. You just wait it out. People forget. Corporate moves on. Life continues. He was right. He waited it out. The complaints stopped mattering. The people who filed them never came back. Life went on. Why would this time be any different? Tomorrow he has a board meeting, some kind of operational review, probably quarterly numbers, maybe a discussion about the holiday season staffing plan, maybe good news about expansion, routine stuff, the kind of meeting where you nod along and look engaged. He's not worried. Why would he be worried? He drives home. A nice apartment downtown, 3rd floor, view of the river. Not as nice as he'd like. He deserves a penthouse, really. But it'll do for now. He's got his eye on a regional manager position. Another year, maybe 2, and he'll move up. More money, more prestige, more authority. He orders takeout from his favorite Thai place, watches a basketball game, scrolls through his phone, checks his Instagram, posts a photo from last weekend's golf outing. His phone buzzes. The meeting confirmation for tomorrow, 9 a.m., corporate boardroom, operational review. He replies with a quick, "See you there?" and a thumbs up emoji. Doesn't think twice about it. Then he finishes his pad thai, watches the end of the game, goes to bed, sleeps well, dreams of promotion and corner offices. He doesn't know that Faith Donovan spent the evening compiling evidence against him. He doesn't know that 3 witnesses have submitted written statements describing exactly what they saw. He doesn't know that 5 HR complaints are sitting in a folder with his name on it. He doesn't know that his own emails maintain the right atmosphere, the right people, use your judgment, have been printed and highlighted. He doesn't know that the woman he turned away 2 nights ago is the founder and CEO of the company that employs him. He doesn't know that his career ends tomorrow. Morning comes. Day 3. Gregory wakes at 6:30, showers, shaves carefully, picks out his best charcoal suit, the one he wears for important meetings. First impressions matter, he always says. Presentation is everything. Look the part, be the part. He eats breakfast, eggs and toast, checks his phone for emails. Nothing urgent, just the usual morning traffic. He drives to the corporate office, parks in the visitor lot, straightens his tie in the rearview mirror, practices his smile. Confident, professional, ready. He walks through the lobby with his confident stride, shoulders back, head high. The receptionist recognizes him. "Good morning, Mr. Hartwell. Conference room B, second floor." "Thanks." He flashes his practiced smile, the one that works on customers and colleagues alike. "Big meeting today?" "I think so. Several board members are already here." Gregory nods. Board members present. That probably means something significant. Budget discussion, maybe. Or expansion plans. Good news about the Charleston numbers. Maybe recognition for his performance. Good sign for his promotion prospects. He takes the elevator, checks his reflection in the mirrored walls, adjusts his tie one more time. Perfect. Everything in place. The conference room door is closed when he arrives. He can see shapes through the frosted glass. Several people already seated. He checks his watch. 8:55. 5 minutes early. Professional. Punctual. He takes a breath, puts on his confident smile. Then he opens the door. The room goes quiet. 4 board members sit along one side of the table, faces neutral. Unreadable. The board chair at the head. A woman Gregory doesn't immediately recognize stands near the window, her back to the door. Gregory enters, smiles broadly. "Good morning, everyone." The board chair nods, doesn't smile back. No one smiles back. "Mr. Hartwell, please have a seat." Gregory settles into a chair near the end of the table. Casual, confident. He's done 100 meetings like this. He knows the rhythm. He knows the game. He doesn't notice the thick binder at the woman's seat. He doesn't notice how quiet the room is. He doesn't notice the tension in the air. The woman by the window turns around. Gregory's brain takes a moment to process what he's seeing. There's something familiar about her. The navy dress. The pearl earrings. The calm, steady gaze. Where has he seen her before? Then it clicks. The lobby. 2 nights ago. The woman without a reservation. The one he told they were fully booked. The one he suggested would be more comfortable somewhere else. She's here. Why is she here? His smile falters, just slightly. His hand tightens on the armrest. "Mr. Hartwell," the board chair's voice is formal. "Thank you for coming. We have a significant matter to discuss this morning. Faith, would you like to present?" Faith. The woman nods, moves toward the head of the table, picks up a binder that Gregory hadn't noticed before. Thick, full of papers, tabbed sections. "Thank you." She makes eye contact with Gregory. Her face is calm, composed, not angry, not vengeful, just certain. Gregory's stomach drops. He realizes in that moment that he doesn't know who this woman is. He realizes that she's about to tell him, and he realizes, with sudden cold clarity, that he's made a terrible mistake. The night before the meeting, Faith doesn't sleep much. Not from nerves, from preparation. She sits at the desk in her hotel room. The lamp casts a warm circle of light. Every document spread out in front of her. The recording transcript, printed and annotated. The witness statements, signed and dated. The reservation proof from the system. The HR complaints, highlighted and tabbed. Gregory's emails, excerpted and damning. 24 months of pattern, laid out in black and white. Terrence sent the legal summary at 9 p.m., clear and devastating. And employment termination with cause. Pattern of discriminatory behavior documented across 5 formal complaints. Evidence of hostile workplace culture through internal communications. Recommendation: no severance, no positive reference. Future employer inquiries will be answered truthfully regarding circumstances of separation. Faith reads it twice. It's exactly what she wanted. Airtight, undeniable, complete. She organizes the binder. Section 1. The incident. Recording transcript with timestamps. Witness statements from James Crawford and 2 other guests. Reservation confirmation showing the booking existed and was marked as no-show. System logs proving the Hendersons were seated after Faith was denied. Section 2. The pattern. 5 HR complaints spanning 24 months. Dates, details, complainant demographics. All marked resolved. None actually resolved. The same story repeated 5 times. Section 3. The culture. Gregory's emails to staff. Maintain the right atmosphere. The right people. Use your judgment. The language of discrimination dressed up in corporate vocabulary. Professional-sounding words that meant ugly things. Section 4. The law. Terrence's summary. Legal exposure. Liability. The case for immediate termination. The documentation that makes everything bulletproof. She closes the binder. Runs her hand over the cover. Tomorrow, this ends. Faith stands. Walks to the window. Charleston at night. The lights of the city reflected in the harbor. Beautiful. Historic. A place built on contradictions. She thinks about what this meeting will mean. For Gregory, obviously, his career is over. He'll walk out of that room a different person than he walked in. Everything he thought he was will be stripped away. But it's not really about Gregory. It's about the grandmother who couldn't celebrate her birthday. It's about the couple whose anniversary was ruined. It's about Walter and Dorothy Jenkins, who drove 40 minutes for nothing. It's about every person who walked into the Golden Fork hoping for a nice dinner and walked out feeling like they didn't deserve to exist. Faith has the power to make sure it never happens again. Not at her restaurants, not on her watch. That power came from 36 years of work. From washing dishes at 16. From opening her first restaurant at 32. From building something that matters. That power comes with responsibility. She thinks about her own grandmother, a woman she never met. Born in 1919 in rural Alabama, lived through decades of Jim Crow. Couldn't eat at most restaurants in her own town. Couldn't use the same water fountains. Couldn't sit where she wanted on a bus. Couldn't walk through the front door of most establishments. Faith's grandmother died in 1962, 2 years before the Civil Rights Act passed. Never got to see the world change. But change did come. Slowly. Imperfectly. Incompletely. And now, in 2024, Faith Donovan built a restaurant empire. 14 locations, hundreds of employees, millions in revenue. Proof that the doors her grandmother couldn't walk through are now open, except when they're not. Except when a manager decides that some people don't belong. Except when the system protects him for 24 months. Except when 5 families walk away humiliated and nothing changes. That stops tomorrow. Faith closes her eyes, takes a breath. She's not doing this for revenge. Revenge is personal. Revenge is about anger. Revenge is about making someone pay. This is about something else. It's about the next grandmother, the next anniversary, the next family that walks through the door of the Golden Fork expecting dinner and receiving dignity. It's about making sure the door stays open for everyone. She opens her eyes, checks the time. 2 a.m. Board meeting in 7 hours. She should try to sleep. She won't sleep well, but she should try. She should. She lies down, stares at the ceiling. Her mind keeps turning. The grandmother, the anniversary, the empty tables. Gregory's smile for the Hendersons. Gregory's dismissal of her. Eventually, she sleeps. Tomorrow, everything changes. Day 3, 8:30 a.m. The conference room is ready. Faith arrives early, places the evidence binder at her seat, tests the screen, makes sure the audio system works. The recording is loaded and ready. The documents are organized by section. The trap is set. She stands by the window, watches the parking lot below, waits. The morning sun casts long shadows across the corporate campus. Employees arrive for work, park their cars, walk toward the building with coffee cups and laptop bags. A normal Wednesday morning, normal for everyone except one person. Board members begin to arrive, one by one. Faith briefed each of them privately yesterday evening. They know what's coming. They've seen summaries of the evidence. Their faces are neutral, professional, ready to do what needs to be done. The board chair takes his seat at the head of the table, checks his watch. He should be here soon. Faith nods, keeps watching the window. 8:47 a.m. A silver sedan pulls into the visitor lot. Gregory Hartwell steps out. Even from the second floor, Faith can see his confident stride, his shoulders back, his head high, the walk of a man who believes he's in charge of his life. He has no idea. She watches him cross the parking lot, straighten his jacket, check his phone one last time, disappear into the building. She imagines him in the elevator, checking his reflection in the mirrored walls, adjusting his tie, preparing for what he thinks is a routine meeting. He thinks he's here to discuss quarterly numbers. He thinks he's here to talk about holiday staffing. He thinks he might even get recognition, a compliment, maybe a hint about that promotion he's been expecting. The elevator dings somewhere down the hall. Footsteps approach. The door handle turns. Gregory walks in, smiles broadly, confident, relaxed. "Good morning, everyone." The room doesn't smile back. Gregory takes a seat near the end of the table, settles in, crosses his legs. He's done hundreds of meetings like this. He knows the rhythm. Pleasantries first, then agenda items, then discussion, then action items, then everyone goes back to work. He doesn't notice the binder at Faith's seat. He doesn't notice how quiet the room is. He doesn't notice that no one is making small talk. He doesn't notice the tension coiled in the air like a spring. Faith turns from the window. Their eyes meet. Gregory's face flickers. Something familiar. Something he can't quite place. A memory trying to surface. Where has he seen her before? The lobby, 2 nights ago. The navy dress. The pearl earrings. The woman he told to leave. Recognition hits. His smile fades. His hand tightens on the armrest. The board chair speaks. "Mr. Hartwell, thank you for joining us. We have a significant matter to discuss this morning." Gregory's eyes dart around the room, looking for cues, looking for allies, looking for any sign of what's happening. He finds nothing. "Faith, would you like to present?" Faith moves toward the head of the table, picks up the binder. She can feel Gregory's eyes on her, can see the confusion turning to concern, concern turning to fear. She takes her position, opens the binder. "Thank you." She looks at Gregory, directly, calmly. No anger, no triumph. Just the certainty of someone who knows exactly what's about to happen. "My name is Faith Donovan. I'm the founder and CEO of Donovan Hospitality Group." Gregory's face goes white. The color drains from his cheeks like water from a sink. His mouth opens, closes, opens again. Nothing comes out. I didn't. 3 nights ago, Faith continues, her voice steady, I visited the Golden Fork. Unannounced. Under my maiden name. I had a confirmed reservation. I was told the restaurant was fully booked. She opens the binder to the first tab. This is what I found. Re-engagement point. Gregory Hartwell thought nothing could touch him. 24 months of complaints. 24 months of resolved. All of it ends in the next 10 minutes. Stay with me. The recording plays. Gregory's voice fills the conference room. Clear, undeniable, every syllable preserved. I apologize for any confusion, but we're fully booked this evening. Faith's voice calm and measured. Those tables appear to be available. Gregory's voice. Those are reserved for guests arriving shortly. Then the sound of the door opening. Footsteps on marble, and Gregory's voice again, warm and welcoming, a completely different person. Mr. and Mrs. Henderson, wonderful to see you again. Right this way, your usual table is ready. The contrast is devastating. Two different voices, one cold and dismissive, one warm and genuine. Same man, same moment, same restaurant, different treatment for different people. The recording continues. Gregory suggesting Faith would be more comfortable somewhere else. Gregory's patience wearing thin, the edge of hostility creeping into his voice. The unspoken threat of security. 8 minutes and 23 seconds, every word captured, every inflection preserved. The recording ends. Silence fills the room. Gregory's face is pale. His hands grip the armrests so hard his knuckles have turned white. He looks around the table for allies, for support, for anyone who might speak up in his defense. No one meets his eyes. Faith continues, her voice steady, unhurried. After I left the Golden Fork, 3 witnesses contacted me independently. All of them saw what happened. All of them were willing to put their observations in writing. She places the witness statements on the table, one by one. James Crawford, table by the window. He writes, I watched the manager turn her away. 30 seconds later, he welcomed a white couple with a smile and led them to an empty table. Same restaurant, same tables, different treatment. I've never seen discrimination so blatant. She lays out the second statement, the third. The reservation system shows my booking existed. It was confirmed at 2:47 p.m. that day. It was never canceled. It was never modified. Gregory Hartwell looked at the system, saw my reservation, and chose to deny it anyway. She places the system printout on the table. Gregory speaks. His voice cracks. I didn't recognize you. I didn't know who you were. Faith looks at him, directly, calmly. That's the point, Mr. Hartwell. You shouldn't need to know who someone is to treat them with dignity. She opens the next section of the binder. But this isn't about one incident. This is about a pattern. She pulls out the HR complaints. 5 folders, each one tabbed and highlighted. 5 formal complaints against Gregory Hartwell. 24 months, 4 black guests, 1 Latino family, same pattern every time, fully booked. Reservation not found. Computer error. All while empty tables sat visible in the dining room. She reads from the files, her voice measured, letting the facts speak. Complaint 1. Patricia Coleman, an elderly woman, had a reservation, told the restaurant was full, could see empty tables. When she questioned the situation, she was asked to leave. She pauses, lets it land. Complaint 2. David and Maria Santos, anniversary dinner, waited 45 minutes in the bar, watched white couples without reservations get seated, eventually left without being served. The board members shift in their seats. Complaint 3. Walter and Dorothy Jenkins drove 40 minutes for dinner, turned away despite confirmed reservation. Restaurant was half empty. Complaint 4. Keisha Williams told her reservation wasn't in the system, showed confirmation email, suggested she try another evening. Complaint 5. The Robinson family, grandmother's 80th birthday, family of 4, turned away while empty tables were visible from the hostess stand. She closes the folder. 5 families, 5 celebrations ruined, 5 complaints filed hoping something would change. All 5 marked resolved. All 5 times Gregory Hartwell received a brief counseling session and went back to work. Nothing changed. Nothing was ever going to change. She places Gregory's emails on the table. From Gregory Hartwell's own communications to his staff. Written evidence of intent. She reads aloud. We need to maintain the right atmosphere. Some guests fit our brand better than others. Use your judgment on reservations. Make sure the right people get the best tables. She looks at Gregory. This wasn't unconscious bias, Mr. Hartwell. This wasn't poor training. This wasn't one bad night. This was policy. Your policy. Implemented systematically for 24 months while HR looked the other way. Gregory's attempt at defense collapses. He opens his mouth, closes it, opens it again. I was maintaining standards. I was doing what I thought was best for... What you thought was best, Faith interrupts, was telling a grandmother she couldn't celebrate her birthday in our restaurant. What you thought was best was ruining an anniversary dinner. What you thought was best was looking at a black woman with a confirmed reservation and deciding she didn't deserve a table. The room is silent. Complete silence. No one moves. Gregory tries one more time, desperation in his voice. But I didn't know who you were. If you'd known I was the CEO, you would have seated me immediately. That's not better, Mr. Hartwell. That's worse. That means you know exactly what you're doing. You just thought you could get away with it. Faith turns to the board chair. I recommend immediate termination for cause. Pattern of discriminatory behavior spanning 24 months. 5 documented complaints. Evidence of hostile workplace culture through internal communications. This company cannot employ someone who decides which guests deserve service based on the color of their skin. The board chair nods, looks at the other board members. One by one, they nod. Gregory Hartwell. The board chair's voice is formal, final, the voice of institutional authority. Your employment with Donovan Hospitality Group is terminated, effective immediately. Gregory's face crumbles. You can't. I've been here for 2 years. 2 years and 5 complaints, the board chair says. That we know of. No severance will be paid. No positive reference will be provided. Any future employer who contacts us will be informed of the circumstances of your termination. Gregory stands. His legs are unsteady. His face has aged 10 years in 10 minutes. This isn't fair. I was just doing my job. Your job, Faith says quietly, was to welcome guests. All guests. You failed, repeatedly, documented, undeniable. The door opens. 2 security officers enter. Professional. Neutral. Mr. Hartwell, please come with us. We'll escort you to collect your personal belongings. Gregory looks around the room one final time, searching for something. Sympathy. Understanding. A last-minute reprieve. Anything. He finds nothing. He walks toward the door. Passes Faith. For a moment, their eyes meet. She doesn't gloat, doesn't smile, doesn't say anything. She just watches. The arrogance is gone. The confidence is gone. The certainty that nothing ever happens to people like him, gone. He's just a man who lost everything because he thought some people didn't deserve to sit in a restaurant. The door closes behind him. The room exhales. Faith addresses the board. I'm implementing new protocols effective immediately. Anonymous complaint system. Mandatory bias training for all management. Quarterly third-party audits. This pattern ends today. The board chair nods. Approved. Unanimously. 3 days. That's all it took. 1 week later. Faith pulls into the parking lot of the Golden Fork. Same building. Same brass handles on the door. Same marble lobby beyond the glass. Everything is different. Gregory Hartwell's name has been removed from the management roster. His office has been cleaned out. His photo taken down from the staff wall. Word has spread through Charleston's hospitality industry. He's applied to 6 restaurants in the past week. None have called back. Some doors, once closed, stay closed. The new general manager meets Faith at the entrance. Young woman, promoted from assistant manager. First thing she did in her new role was read all 5 complaints. Second thing she did was call each family to apologize personally. 2 of them cried on the phone. They'd spent years thinking no one cared, thinking nothing would ever change, thinking their experiences didn't matter. They mattered. Faith walks through the lobby, past the hostess stand where she was turned away, into the dining room where the Hendersons sat, while she was told there was no space. "Right this way, Ms. Donovan. We have your table ready." The table by the window. The same table she could see when Gregory told her the restaurant was fully booked. The same table where the Hendersons settled in 30 seconds after she was denied. The same table that sat empty while 5 families were turned away over 24 months. She sits down, orders coffee, looks out at the street. She thinks about the 5 families: Patricia Coleman, David and Maria Santos, Walter and Dorothy Jenkins, Keisha Williams, the Robinsons. All of them received letters from Faith. Personal letters, not form letters. Real words, real accountability, real apologies. Most of them wrote back. Said it meant something. Said they were glad someone finally listened. Said they thought they'd been forgotten. She thinks about Gregory Hartwell, where he is now, what he's doing. Whether he understands why this happened? Probably not. People like Gregory rarely do. They tell themselves they were treated unfairly. They blame others. They learn nothing. But that's not Faith's concern. Her concern is the next person who walks through that door. As if on cue, the front door opens. A young black couple enters. Early 20s, well-dressed, a little nervous. Maybe their first time at a restaurant this nice. Maybe saving up for a special occasion. They approach the hostess stand. The young woman behind the podium looks up immediately, smiles warmly. "Welcome to the Golden Fork. Do you have a reservation?" "Yes. Under Johnson." The hostess checks the screen, nods. "Here you are, right this way." She leads them to a table, a good table, near the window. The couple sits down, looks around at the chandeliers, the white tablecloths, the gleaming stemware. They relax into their seats. They belong here. Faith watches them receive exactly what she was denied. This is what victory looks like. Not revenge, not anger, not the satisfaction of watching someone fall, just a door that stays open for everyone. She thinks about her grandmother, the one who couldn't eat at most restaurants in her town, the one who died before the world changed, the one who never got to walk through doors like this. The world has changed, not completely, not perfectly, but enough. Enough that Faith Donovan could build an empire. Enough that a young couple can walk into a restaurant and be treated like they belong. That's worth protecting. That's worth fighting for. That's worth 3 sleepless nights and 5 days of preparation and 1 very difficult board meeting. Faith finishes her coffee, leaves a generous tip, walks out through the lobby. The hostess smiles. "Thank you, Ms. Donovan. Come back any time." "I will." She steps into the Charleston sunshine. Same door, different ending. She didn't need to yell. She didn't need to threaten. She just needed receipts and a door that stays open for everyone who comes next. If this story showed you what quiet power looks like, share it with someone who needs to hear it. Subscribe for more stories where evidence matters more than anger. And leave a comment. What would you have done in Faith's position?